What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are killing it out on the tables. I knew this would happen, but it still hurts a little bit, and I finally had a losing session after 13 straight winning sessions. I was actually up in big blinds, but down in cash. I won some big pots on the small limit and lost more money on the higher limits that I was playing. Let's take a look at this session and get into some of the interesting spots and big hands from last night. First one we're going to look at is one where I won 200 big blinds. So this one is a huge pot. The only negative thing about this, it was at a 5NL table. Under the gun limps, I also just limp, and we get a raise to my left to 5x and a call behind him. And I'm just going to call here to hopefully hit an 8 like I do right there. We have a donk bet into me. I'm not going to give away my hand strength right now, so I just make a call with a 2/3 pot bet. I want people to call behind me as well, which is exactly what happens. I get two callers behind me. The turn is the 10 of hearts. There's a lot of draws out there right now. There is 379 in the pot. Scott Hall has a larger stack than I do, and there's a couple larger stacks but still smaller than mine behind me. So I'm going to come out and bet here. I bet a little bit larger than half pot. I think this is a good amount to commit these guys and to try to suck a little bit of money out of him as well. And it still leaves us 550 behind if we do get a call from Scott Hall. I think we could wind up jamming it on the river and getting a ton of calls from hands that we beat. So we get one call, two calls behind, and all four of us see the river as well. Now there's 1159 in the pot. The river is a 5 of hearts, which is slightly scary. One of the flush draws got there, a couple of the straight draws got there. But when Scott Hall checks here, I know he probably missed all of his draws. If the Kobe or Sweet Cut hit their draw, they're going to get it all in anyway. So I'm going to try to maximize my set of 8s here by just jamming all in. I know that these guys are probably going to call with worse hands as well as hands that beat me, but I'm going to get money from the worse hands, which is important, and we have a chance to get a bunch of money from Scott Hall as well with a call here. So I bet all in there, and we do get a call from Sweet Cut, but that was it. But that is a huge pot right there for a 5NL table, almost $20. Big win of the night. Now let's take a look at the big loss of the night. I remember playing this one and it confused the shit out of me. You guys can let me know if I made a mistake here. So we have an under the gun +1 limp. I make it 60 cents to see a flop. I bet such a large amount because I saw that this player was a very fishy type player with a very high VPIP. So I figured he was calling a ton of hands, and he obviously does call a ton of hands if he's calling 3-4 out of position for 6x pre-flop, and that is the perfect flop for a 3-4 offsuit, and that really sucks for my aces. So I continuation bet here for 60 cents. I want him to call with a lot of the mid pairs that could be playing in here that he could be just limp calling with pre-flop. I'm thinking he's got a pair, somewhere between 4s and kings, and 60 cents was a good pot, or a good bet size to make that type of pair call. He does make the call. He does not have the hand that I think he does, but that'll happen. So he checks back the turn as well. This time I make it 170 to go. There's a little bit more draws out there. If he does have something, like an ace queen, ace king, king queen, I'm going to make those hands really pay for it. And again, he just calls. He's slow playing that trip 4s, and he checks the river as well. And, I'm never really putting him on a 4 in this hand. And I think that I'm good here, with the 2 pair aces and 4s. If he did hit any of these 2 pair, I've got him beat. I don't think he's got kings, queens, or jacks with the way he's played this hand. I think there's a good possibility he has king, queen, maybe king, jack, and that I'm going to get a lot of money out of him. So I just jam all in, and he, of course, is not getting rid of that hand. Do you guys think I made a mistake here? I just really didn't put him on a 4. I didn't think that there was going to be any 4s in his range. Possibly an ace 4 suited, but that was going to be it. And pretty much the rest of his range I had dominated here. What do you guys think about this one? Could I have played this one differently? Should I have played this one differently? Let me know in the comment section below. I think that a river call is not a river check is not out of the question here. I just thought that I was going to be betting for value value here, and I thought there were a ton of hands that I would be able to get value from. Mistake or not a mistake? Let me know. I'm gonna take a look at one of my big EV differentials here. Yep, remember this one happening too. So we have an under the gun raise, just a min raise, and I'm on the button with ace king suited. The under the gun raise is a short stacker. I'm going to 3-bet here every time with ace king suited on the button. I make it 225 to go, and the short stack under the gun jams all in. It's about $8.50 for me to call here into a $14 pot. I think this is a pretty easy call, and I do make it, and he shows ace jack suited and winds up rivering a straight. That's one of those, you know, where the variance kicks in, and I knew I was gonna hit some negative variance here eventually. Get it out of the way on the small tables, whatever. Move on. Got it in with the best. That's all you can do. Let's take a look at another one where the EV differential was high. Alright, we just have a cooler here. Aces against kings. 3-bet by aces. I 4-bet on the button, and he jams. I'm gonna call here. I don't think this was a bad play or really much to talk about here. Just unfortunate that I got it in with kings against aces. That's going to happen. You're gonna run into those coolers a lot. It's kind of crazy that the EV differential was that high though. Let's take a look at one more winning hand that I had. This time I am at a 5NL table. You guys can see how this one's gonna turn out. This is great. I have pocket tens in the cutoff, and I make it 3x to go. I've got a short stack that 3-bets to my left. He's been 3-betting pretty loose. He hasn't 3-bet with a premium hand yet, and we have a jam from the small blind, who is a relatively tight player. Don't have a ton of hands on either of these players. I think this one is actually a mistake, and I probably should have folded this one with a 3-bet and a 4-bet jam. I think I'm going to be behind here with the pocket tens a lot of the time. I, however, do make a call, and the button jams all in. I can't get away from it here. I'm pot committed, and therefore I make a call and wind up flopping my trips. None of those guys had outs with their jacks. All of those are gone, you guys. Sorry. That's embarrassing. That was a mistake. I think I probably should have gotten rid of that one pre-flop. Let me know what you guys think about that one down in the comment section. Alright, we're going to take a look at one more pocket tens hand. I was on fire with the pocket tens last night. So we're at a 50 NL short table, so there's only a $25 buy-in here, and I flop a full house tens over fours. Again, I'm against jacks. I am just crushing the jacks tonight with pocket tens. He bets 2. I just make a call not to give away my hand strength. I check the turn, and he bets $4 this time, and I come back over the top, make it 2.5 times his bet. I'm pot committing myself and trying to pot commit him to this pot now, and he just jams all in. He did have some outs to the jack there on the river. Got a lucky flop there, just like in the last hand. He decided not to pre-flop 3-bet though with the jacks. It's not a terrible play, and it's just a great flop for me. That was a fun hand though, huh? If you guys want Hold'em Manager or America's Card Room, where I play all of my poker, the links are down in the video description. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not done that yet. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll be back very soon with another video. But until then, I'll see you guys out on the virtual felt.